Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's lecture. We're going to do chapter 1. I like doing these video lectures, by the way. I think it helps you a little bit, and it's good for also I think the instructor. We make a little bit more of a connection. However, I will tell you, I hope you look at these videos and use them. If not, if you don't find them as a good tool, let me know. We don't have to do them. They do take a lot of time, but I hope you get something out of this, even if it's just to make fun of me wearing the same shirt for different ones or the silly things that you'll see pop up in the background. But I want it to be a good tool for you. So this week we're going to start off with chapter 1. Hopefully you have the correct book, Marketing Management for the Hospitality Industry. This is kind of a complex book. There's a lot more to this class than I think people realize. We'll start off with just asking, what do you think marketing is? I think a lot of times people think it's just the advertising that we see, and marketing for the Super Bowl, all those great ads, even just little giveaways maybe that somebody might give you. But marketing is a lot deeper than that. Marketing is actually all of the little things that go into getting people to utilize your product or services. And that's one thing we kind of forget about sometimes when we're marketing. Sometimes we're just marketing a service, or we're marketing ourselves, or a product, or a combination of both. But the key to marketing is not just trying to sell something. And there's a part in the book, in the chapter 1, that talks about the difference between marketing and selling. And selling is basically having a product or a service and trying to get somebody to buy it or use it. It doesn't say anything about, do they really want it? Do they really need it? Is this something that fills a void that they have? So basically you're throwing out this big net, and hopefully you can catch a couple little fish in there, or people that want your service. Versus the true marketing concept is trying to find what people need and what people value, what people want. That way they'll come into your business and you don't really have to do so much selling. So in other words, you provide a service or a product that people really want, and then it's just a natural fit. You give it, they want it, they buy it. So you have to remember, why you see so many failed hospitality operations out in the world. And there's a case study at the end of this chapter that you're going to be answering that question on. We know that 95–96% of the restaurants that start close within 3 years. Well, why is that? Is it maybe that people have an idea of what they want without thinking about what the customer wants? And use a great example of this out of my own experience. My first restaurant operation, a buddy of mine who I'd been in culinary school with, we thought we had a great idea. I was still in culinary school. He had been out a year. We thought we knew everything. So we decided to open this little restaurant in the middle of nowhere called the Harvest Moon Cafe. It had been in a little town populated basically by very rural farmer type home people. They called us those French boys because we had chicken cordon bleu on the menu, because that automatically made us French. But we went in there with, we're going to do things our way because we know how to do this business. People are going to want what we have. People are going to flock to us because we know what we're doing, and we know. Now I'll tell you, we even did a survey before we opened. We're going to talk more about those later on when you do your own little survey. But I don't know if we really paid attention to it. I don't think we asked the right questions. For example, we made our restaurant non-smoking 25 years before non-smoking was the rage. It caused people to hate us right off the bat. The type of food, the type of service. There was a table in the corner where all the farmers would come in early at 6 o'clock. They'd sit, they'd talk, and they'd drink 8 pots of coffee for next to no money. And of course, being the brilliant marketer that we were, we got rid of that. They even had it, they call it the liar's table. We got rid of it, moved it out, said basically, no, we're going to do things different, and alienated a core group right there. And even though they didn't buy a lot of product, they were still a part of the community, and that set things off the bat. So the key to this is, if you buy a restaurant, don't go in and do your own thing without really getting to know what the population wants. That's one reason why we have so many littered businesses. We go on, we talk about the marketing mix. You have the 4 Ps, which is product, price, promotion, and place. But when we look at the hospitality side, we add a couple more. We've got hospitality, product service mix, presentation, communication, pricing, and distribution. And when you read those, you're going to see how each one of those plays into how we get product to the market, how we price it. And pricing is a funny thing, because pricing, we think about, we have X amount in it, we have X amount of labor, so we need to charge X amount for it. But once again, when you look at marketing from the whole, what does a consumer want? You've got to ask yourself, does the consumer see value in what they're buying? I think value is huge, and I use that almost every time I go out and eat or when I buy something. Is this a good bang for the buck? We've all heard that expression. So value is really important, and perceived value may have nothing to do with the actual amount of cost in it. We may say, but we've got the most expensive this, the most expensive that, the most expensive everything in it, but they say, yeah, but it's still just that. So not everybody understands that. The whole, once again, the whole overview of marketing. There's some good examples in your book on page 13 when we talk about the marketing concept. Some of the examples that they give you are, well, I'm sorry, we were booked up for breakfast. We didn't have any open spots. You're going to have to wait for a little bit. Let me give you a complimentary shake and maybe some coupons to come back. We really appreciate your business. We want to make you happy. That would fall using the marketing concept, all right, when you have a problem with people getting a seat. In contrast, not using a good marketing concept in that same scenario would be, yeah, we had a couple servers not show up today, so we're just slow getting people in seats. You see the difference between those two. One, trying to make the customer feel better, and the other one just kind of being blunt, stating the facts. Another thing we're going to talk about in Chapter 1 and look at is the marketing environment. And a lot of things go into the marketing environment. Most of you are younger in age, and so you haven't had a chance to experience a lot of the upheaval we've had in the hospitality business through the years, and a lot of the changes. But you've got things like, the economics of it. Back in the day when moms were stay-at-home moms and dads were the one that worked, hospitality really kind of fell into certain patterns. Mom was the one who said, let's go out to eat. A lot of the menus and a lot of things like salad bars were created because moms made the decision. Now, who makes the decision on where families go out to eat? It's usually the kids. That's why you see the proliferation of kids menus out there and things that kids want to go to get their family in. Different pricing structures you'll see as far as economics. We have value meals are everywhere. When was the last time you paid full price for something at a fast food joint? We're always looking for value meals. Social issues and social environments, evolving consumers, aging consumers. We have an aging population. Dietary habits. Those things have all changed. I mean, when Hardee's started selling a hamburger with no bun but wrapped in a lettuce leaf, I knew we were in trouble. But of course they were just trying to fit in with the social changes and market to a different type of person. Competition. Everybody's in the food business these days. You can go get your pizza at the gas station. Stuff on the pizza places. So competition has evolved to the point where everybody's trying to get their hands in the till. I love when you look at catering. As you drive down the street and you see, Kentucky Fried Chicken caters and all these other places, including the gas station with pizza. Political issues. Boy, that's really changed business these days. And I'm sure you're all familiar with minimum wage laws, the Fight for 15. That has a huge impact on our business. Tax laws, tipping rules, all those things cause a constant change in the business, and now we're able to market our business. And finally, technology. I think more than anything else, technology has changed our business, how we market. let's face it, we normally think about, yeah, we get on Yelp to look at a review, or we go to Trivago and we look at, different pricing for hotels. But one bad review on Yelp or one of these other services can destroy a business. Barely a week goes by that there's not some type of story about how online marketing has either helped a business or hurt a business really bad. So definitely things to keep in mind. The last main topic in the chapter is marketing planning. And it's funny how little we plan in this business. But basically it's where are we going, how do we get there, and when are we going to get there. So you think planning, execution, and evaluation. I'm going to plan, I'm going to figure out how to get there, I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to go back and make sure that I've done it the right way. And that's a continual thing that we work with in this business. And lastly, I leave you with no man is an island. And what I mean by that is when you're in marketing, you've got to work with the different departments, the finance department, human resources, and every other department involved. You can come up with the greatest promotional scheme in the world, but if you don't have the right finances to back it up, you don't have the right labor to meet the demand that's going to cause, you're going to fall flat on your face. So those are basically the key topics in Chapter 1. Please read Chapter 1, read the case study at the end, do your discussion board question, 2 posts per. There'll be a short quiz this week, and make sure you say hi on the intro video. Thanks, and you have a good week.